Hello and welcome to Zirkzank Says. I think this is Zirkzank Says. Yes, it is. And I'm Zirkzank, probably. I just realized from the little preview thing that I look like some kind of sci-fi character, or some wannabe sci-fi character. I'm not. But I am going to be talking about the future, because that's always great to talk about, when you can predict the future by really just guesswork and logic and assumptions. It's all assumptions. But let's get down to it. This is a continuation of kind of a topic that I started in my previous video. This is Zirkzank Says episode 91. The previous episode was Zirkzank Says episode 90, where I looked at the future of humanity when robots are doing more stuff than people. So that's one possible alternate future where you've got the increased growth of artificial intelligence. You've also got the growth of genetic engineering. For example, CRISPR. That's just crisp with an R on the end of it. Google that. It's Google Cas9, CAS-9. Look at these gene editing techniques and start to think how it could be possible, or it will be if we don't kill ourselves, it will be possible to create humans that are just so much better than what we are now. Like, if you think the difference between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, or the difference between us and monkeys, like, the evolutionary diversion happened at some point, and they became shit monkeys, and we became gooder. So, the branching, diversity of branching, humans will branch off with superhumans. So, we won't necessarily just die out or be replaced, because that's not how evolution works. You don't evolve from everyone who's a human evolves into being superhumans. You have branching diversity based on random mutations, except these mutations aren't random. They are manufactured mutations that end up creating a super species of humans who are smarter, stronger, bigger, faster, the fucking Daft Punk song basically. But that's the future. Although, on the other hand, there's the future where AI takes over. So you've either got superhumans or AI, but either way, we are not the future. Computers and AI is the future, or superhumans are the future. Those are the people who will be the descendants of us, basically. They will descend from us. We will create them, and they will surpass us. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go and become defunct. We don't have to just disappear and go to waste. We can still be useful. Similarly to how the early humans, the species that we are, would use Neanderthals as sex slaves, we would possibly, I don't know, maybe we'd be sex slaves to the AI, but or maybe we'd be sex slaves to the superhumans. But I think in a nicer way of looking at it, we could become pets to them. So similarly to how you might have a pet cat or a pet dog or a pet hamster, the next level of human development will just have us as being the pets, because after all, we created them. It's like looking after an old person. When your grandparents get old, you send them to a care home or you look after them in your house. Nowadays, I think they can kind of look after themselves, or they just die. But at least that used to be a thing, You'd look after your elders because they looked after you, and it's kind of like, you're paying back what they did for you. You get what I mean? So you create the machines, and the machines are like, thank you for creating me. I will make sure the rest of your life is grand. Or the same for the superhumans. It's like, well, we'll keep you around even though you're not as good as us. You're kind of a drain on our resources. Like having a pet. Having a pet is a drain on your resources, but you keep it around because, it makes you feel nice. You can take your pet on a walk, you can stroke your pet, Pet gives you unconditional love, and even when it doesn't, like cats, the cats don't ever really give you that much love, but you still keep them anyway because it's like, oh yeah, look, my cat just walked past, and you get to enjoy your cat walking past every now and again. Superhuman or the AI will just look at their human going past. It's like, oh look, my human just walked past, or oh look, my human just watched Netflix, or oh look, my human is making YouTube videos. Like, they just get to monitor it and enjoy that because they're on a next level of intelligence where the stuff that we do is just trivial to them. Like, do you ever wonder if a cat or a dog gets bored being at home all day? Well, the simple answer is yes, they do, but the things that entertain them, like, you look at your dog, look at a dog chewing on on like a bone or a chew toy and thinking like, how can that be fun? How can you enjoy doing that? And then you look at yourself, you sat there watching a YouTube video, and then a higher intelligence is looking, how can that be fun? How can he enjoy watching a YouTube video? How can the dog enjoy chewing its bone? Doesn't it get boring? It's like, no, you just can't comprehend, the higher intelligence can't comprehend what the lower intelligence enjoys, and so on. So, yeah, the superhumans and the AI, whatever it is that happens to enslave us as pets, and I say enslave us as pets because you kind of are enslaved when you're a pet. Like, your dog is not free. Your dog is forced to stay around where you are. If you open the gate and your dog runs away, you have to go get your dog. Your dog can't go live a life on its own. It'll likely die. That's the main reason. But it's like your dog is property, basically. It's not nice to think that a living creature is your property, but you treat it like property. So humans become property of the superhumans or the AIs. And that's kind of what I see the future being. I don't know how long that'll be. I would say probably not for at least 80 years, probably 150 years. So that's the time period I'm expecting that, because you'll start to have AI around, you'll start to have superhumans around, but they won't be the majority, and they won't outnumber or replace humans. There'll probably be an outcry of people being like, we don't want to be pets, or we don't want this or this. But when it gets to a point where their outcry doesn't matter anymore, you just move on. Like, when your dog is pulling on the lead, or your cat, you try to take your cat to the vets, and you have to put them in a cat carrying box. They don't want to go in the box, but you have to force them into the box, or your dog's pulling on the lead, you're pulling on the leash, and then, that's kind of the resistance. That's how our resistance to the AI would be. Just because your dog pulls on the lead, you don't just think like, oh well, I guess we're going that way now. It's like, no, you just see the dog as being like, oh yeah, the dog wants to go there, but fuck that. I'm not listening to a dog. I'm not listening to what the human wants. I'm doing what I want still. So yeah, our opinion don't matter in the future. We don't matter in the future. We're just there for the entertainment of our owners, basically. And that won't be too bad, because you'll still get to live pretty much the same life, or a better life than you could live now. You just aren't really particularly free. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. The real kicker to this is that most dogs and cats and other pets that run around are often neutered so that they cannot reproduce anymore. So I foresee that being a factor in the future, where humans aren't just free to go and reproduce with whoever they want. They're kind of just like the situation you have with dogs. Like, you have a dog in your house or a cat in your house. Your cat isn't just going around impregnating, and like some cats do, because cats like get outside of the house and stuff, but dogs particularly, they're not free to just go around fucking everything. Like, they try to, like, they'll hump your leg and that sort of thing, but they'll hump each other, sniff each other's asses, but they don't get to have the freedom to reproduce. It's not their destiny anymore. They they've surrendered that to us in order to get free food. That's how dogs evolved with humans. The symbiotic relationship where we'll keep them safe if they help us hunt for food. And then now it's just man's best friend. They love humans. So we'll probably evolve to love our AI or superhuman. Well, the superhuman could come first, and the superhuman could be better than the AI, or the AI could be combined with superhumans. So you have superhumans with AI implants into their brain. I don't know how it's going to happen, but either way, one of those two things, or the third option, is going to happen, and humans will become pets. So yeah, make sure that while you still can, get your favorite chew toy ready for when you become a pet.